Oops. It's the Bennington Show. I didn't know where that rock was coming from.
You're rocking.
Yeah, I was listening to Shanty by Jonathan Edwards moments before arriving here today. Hey, it's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
I'm Ron Bennington. The big man. Chris Stanley is writing now on a piece of paper. Show started. He just
has begun.
He just jots things throughout the show.
Ron is talking.
12:05. Show begins.
Weekend update Unmasked coming up March 12th at 3 p.m. SiriusXM Studios. Michael Che, Colin Jost, two guys that no one ever thought would become like a partnership. To me, this is one of the coolest ones we've ever done. You know, you have the working guys, the working news anchors from SNL.
You know, I always love to hear SNL stories, so I'm always excited anytime we have someone in the cast in. So this is going to be a really cool Unmasked, especially because you're going to be talking to also the head writers. So I think it's going to be a great one.
Are the head writers like notoriously hated there? You know what I mean? Like, even if they're loved and admired, you're like,
yeah,
dude,
I'm sure, because
you're choking the humor out of it.
I'm sure that anybody who is the person who stands between you and getting your silliness.
That is the fucking point, though. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, people shit themselves.
Why did they squash that talking hot dogs thing that I did? Like, what was their problem with it exactly? Too funny?
All right. Obviously, if you follow the news at all, we had yet another major school shooting. This one, Gail and I lived about a 20-minute drive away from this school when we were living in South Florida. It's horrible. It's terrible. It's all over the news. But the United States isn't going to do anything to stop this or do anything about it. We bring it up every time. We're Valentine's Day was yesterday, and we've already had 60 school shootings.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no reason. I don't know why. I guess we have to hit a certain number before people get outraged, and now the outrage turns into, we want to thank the SWAT team because they're the best, and this is a great community, and blah, blah, blah. You know, but nothing changes. Nothing will change. Nothing is going to change. Thoughts and prayers. But if you thought to yourself, if we could figure out a way around this, would a bunch of kids be alive that we're talking about now?
Yeah. And, you know, this was one of those circumstances where, you know, they're going to go, let's look into it, see what his motives are. He's a crazy kid who, honestly, if there wasn't a way to see this kid as a potential harm to other students, like, are we going to find the next one? Probably not, because this one seemed pretty clear.
It's the same shit. I mean, everyone's like, well, we know he was a troubled kid, yet he can go buy these weapons. And people would be defending his right to get these weapons 2 days ago. So there you have it, folks. It's out there. Our shit's fucked up in America. Our shit is fucked up. And it seems like we'd rather not deal with it. We would just rather not deal with it. So there it is. It's out there again. And if you're going to believe, you know, the statistics, there'll be another one of these things, you know, next week, if not sooner. America, our shit's fucked up. All right, so our buddy Colin Quinn had a heart attack yesterday, and he's fine. It always seems like if you have a heart attack and it doesn't kill you, you're going to be okay. You know what I mean?
I was so upset when I saw it, but then immediately went, well, he's tweeting, so that's good.
That's good, yeah.
That's good.
It's always good to tweet. Yeah. If you don't die before you get to the hospital, your chances are pretty goddamn good. It's just dying on the way to the hospital that can fuck you up. And then another shocker, Amy Schumer married. Married.
No, right after we were like, this seems crazy.
We're like, this can't work. They're too different. Now, I'm also pointing this out to Jen. Jen, get over here, too. We dished yesterday, right? Neither one of these stories made the dish. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to have people at the morgues. I want you to have people at the hospitals that you're calling all the time. I want you to have an inside man at the police department. I want you to find out if anytime two celebrities are together, if a marriage is going to happen.
Yes. I think a celebrity wedding planner insider would be a good scoop for you.
Here's the name I haven't heard yet. This could be your big dish. She was married by a comedian, they said. A comedian was the one who did the marrying.
Really?
Yeah. So we got to get to the bottom of that. I want you to check the Hall of Records. I want you to just get on top of all this stuff. Start throwing around fucking C notes. Somebody will talk. But let's do a guess. Chris, who was the comedian?
I feel like it might have been Richard Lewis.
Oh, that's an odd one and interesting. Jewish ceremony. I don't know if the Jews are as funny about, hey, we'll put anybody out there. Who do you got, Gail?
I know that it is a trend that people have lately where you have someone very close to you do it. Mm-hmm. And I would say Bridget Everett.
Do you know that was my pick?
Was it
I was
really?
saving for the end, Bridget Everett. Yeah. All right, so I'll have to come up with another one. I guess I'll go Big J.
I wish he would have told us.
I don't know. I mean, when I saw the lineup, Larry David, David Spade, you know, I mean, this
Jake
was
Gyllenhaal was there.
Yeah, this is
my jelly bean.
I mean, no offense here, but this wasn't at the Village Underground. You know what I'm saying? Like, in all honesty, Giannis Pappas and Chris DiStefano, the Bay Ridge boys, are not down there getting their second helping of dumplings. Now, her husband made food out of local sea urchins and some bark that he had found on the redwood tree.
So good.
Yeah. What's his name? Chris Fisher?
Chris Fisher.
I had followed him for a while. It's so weird because the farm to table thing, and then he has this place. And I always want to do the off season Long Island stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to be there with the traffic. So I'd seen it, like he had this, and it's, oh no, he's not Long Island. He's the other side, Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, right.
But you know, same gimmick to me.
It all
it's the
feels
same
the
exact gimmick as Montauk. But like he's one of these guys that, I mean, stuff that you don't think is food, he's eating. You know what I mean? And you just put some moss on top of it. I mean, he says he's a farmer, but it's like 5 acres, and he just gets a ton of food out of there.
It's crazy. Well, opposites attract.
I guess, but do they stay together? That's what I want Jen to know. Jen, did you come up yet with the who walked her down the aisle? Why wasn't Colin Quinn there? The father from Trainwreck.
Maybe he gave her away.
Oh, maybe he was so in love with her that he had a heart attack.
No.
I think that's what happened. Hey, Randy, you're on Bennington. Randy, once, twice? Not there. Here's Chris. Chris in Philly.
Hey, Ron. I just wanted to compliment you because you had probably the best and honest take as to what happened yesterday, where it's pretty much just hope your kids are in any one of these schools because as Americans, we're not going to do a goddamn thing to stop it.
We're not going to do anything to stop it. And we're just fucked up right now. Look, if you say this is something that happens and you can't stop it from happening, then you turn around and look, and in the last 2 decades, the whole world combined, outside the United States, had the same amount of shootings that we've had in the same 2 months. We're doing something fucking wrong.
There's something up. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're not going to do anything about it. We're not going to do a goddamn thing about it.
And maybe it's just too big to take on because on top of our gun laws, it's also our culture or our mentality. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just too big to take on to people, but
I know
they don't care.
I know that we don't want to give anything up. So when people bring up like, oh, there's violent movies and violent video games and violent, I get that the rest of the world watches those same things and they're not shooting each other. Why not look at everything? Look at fucking everything. Look at the meds that we put the kids on. Look at the fucking guns. Look at everything. Why are you such fucking pussies that you don't want to look at this stuff? But we're not. It's not going to happen. There's no sense in ranting and raving about it. The whole point is just hope it's not your kid's school. That's it. That's all you can do. Just hope the next time this happens, it's not your kid's school. Now, I know a lot of people are saying it's the people from Trinidad, but Jen is here with us. Her people are from Trinidad. She couldn't be nicer.
I know. I mean, to me, they seem like a peaceful people.
And yet, when it's Trinidad, Tobago, they get together and they start, you know what I mean? All of a sudden the shit starts, you know? Is it more the toboggans than anybody else? Is that what they're called, toboggans?
I've never heard that.
I believe the toboggan is from there.
Has to be.
Yes.
Where else could it fucking be from?
Where else is it going to be from? Out of the mouths of babes, our own Chris Stanley. I told you before, I think everything's mental illness in this country. Mental illness. We're nuts.
Yeah, that's for sure. But why do we seem like we're crazier than everyone else? Why? Like, I know other places other countries deal with mental illness.
Do they?
Yes. So why? But what is it about our mental illness combined with our gun laws? I don't know what it is.
Sonny in Orlando.
Hey, I don't think we're going to be able to fix everything that's wrong with society, but instead of spending $60 trillion building a wall at the border, why don't we just take that money and build walls around every school and put a guard in front of them?
Yeah, send our kids to prison every day. You know what's very weird is like, I don't think any kid in America understands what a lax school that I went to. How you could be in and out all day long. You're taking off 3 or 4 classes at a time. There wasn't any, and there was no point that anybody thought, hey, is it safe there? Their problem was, these kids. Are they nuts? Are they going to turn out to be anything? They seem to be a little lax. These test scores are terrible. None of them are playing instruments. But to say like, hey, these are things that happen. It didn't happen like that then. You know what I mean? What's the difference? What happened differently then than now? Hey, David. David, what's up?
Yeah, I wanted to say that it's not the American people aren't doing anything about it. It's the government. They're allowing it to happen.
Well, who puts the fucking government in there, dude? If you again, the American people are fucking batshit.
That's an illusion.
No, it isn't. They're batshit. Take a drive around this fucking country.
That's true. Yes, but what I'm saying is that it's the government. Any kind of opportunity they have to deplete the population, they'll let it happen. Wars, diseases, and abortion, and stuff like this are all tools of the government to. They always talk about overpopulation.
No one does. No one's talking about that at all, David. Like, he's the kind of guy I want to just have checked.
On a list.
Leslie, what's up?
Hey, what you just said. When I was a kid and I went to school, we were allowed to go to our locker anytime.
We're allowed to go out to the car.
Yeah. You I forgot my pencil, and you could go out to your locker, no problem. I talked to my neighbor's kid. They said they are only allowed to go to the locker at the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
What?
And that's it.
Really?
But what blew my, I just wanted to say about that school shooter that he was posting stuff on social media about
shooting people for group therapy and posting pictures of him with guns and knives, why can't something be done about, if somebody's posting something like that,
dude, I have a friend who posts shit like that. I have a friend who posts shit with his guns. You know what I mean? It's just, I know we want to say.
Is your friend talking about killing people?
You know who my friend is. Look. At the same, everybody gets freaked out if somebody goes after somebody like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the way, this is going to go away in a couple days. You won't think about it again. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's 100%. This happens every time. Every most recent shooting seems like the worst one. It feels like the next one tops the last, and it feels like, oh my God, we've never had something this bad. And then you remember you felt this way 2 months ago, and you'll feel this way 2 weeks from now, and this will, it just continues.
Look, this has finally stomped out what I want to talk about constantly, and that's should Nick Foles stay with the Eagles? And I can't get anyone to discuss it.
I'll discuss it with
I'll
you,
be
Pop.
going like this. I'm going like this to people all the time. What about that Philly play, right? No one saw that coming.
The old Philly special. You guys saw that, right?
I mean, I was just... Well, you do remember I said, if he doesn't make it here, he's going for it. I screamed that out.
That's what you said.
At your guy.
Mm-hmm.
I just screamed it at him. But did I see the Philly special coming? No.
Who could?
The future, I guess. Jason, what's up?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, okay. What's up?
Oh, hey. I graduated high school in 2009, and at the time we had 2 full-time police officers, Terry. And now these days there's like metal detectors at all the entrances. You got to check in and out, and it was a pretty kind of high crime city.
To me, even like when schools had guards or cops there, I was like, what? What about your weed? But, I remember Columbine. I remember each one of these things, and nothing has changed since then. Nothing is going to change from this. Alan in Kentucky.
Hey, Benningtons, love you guys. Seems to be the case on a lot of these that this guy was known. I read yesterday that I guess he had posted a strange YouTube video about threatening, and someone sent that YouTube video to the FBI. And so again, the FBI had heard about this guy. There's so many cases where.
But what would the FBI do? Let's be honest here. Is the FBI allowed to come and take his guns? Would everybody?
I don't know. The problem is
Alan,
there's too many guns out there.
Look, you and I understand the same thing. But what do they do every election? They're coming for your guns. They want to take your guns away.
I think it's too big of a problem. I mean, we're the most open society in the world, and it just is. It's sort of unstoppable. I think it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
I've got kids in school, and
it's obviously unstoppable. It's obviously unstoppable. Or we would have been to something to do it. I mean, to me, right now, it's almost the worst thing when I hear people say our thoughts and prayers or this community is going to pull together, because we know you say it every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
get the candles. I'd love to be in the candle business in this country right now, because they sell like crazy, and people love all that stuff. Now they just said they want to focus on mental health. Okay. What kind of care system that you have set up for mental health?
That for mental health, are we going to then report people who make weird YouTube videos who need mental care? You know what I mean? Like at that point, I'm not really sure specifically how. Like, obviously, we need to put emphasis on mental health, but I still don't understand how this happens at the frequency and the quantity it happens.
And what is mental health, by the way? How do you figure out? I don't know. You ever had anybody mentally ill in your family? You ever fucking see how hard it is to get them to just chill out for a bit? It's exhausting to be around somebody with mental problems because your chances of finding this perfect key seem like they don't exist. Here's our old buddy John in Mass. John.
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Good. What can we do for you?
I just wanted to point out, like, you know, some of my friends' kids, over the last, 15, 20 years, I've noticed that the kids are all on meds, and it's like, well, what's he on meds for? And it's like, well, he's being disruptive in class, and he's attracting attention to himself, and, you know, and it's like, well, how old? Well, he's 13. Well, it's like, in other words, he's acting like a teenager, and it's like, yeah, well, this way he concentrates, and you know, they make a zombie out of him. The kids stop playing his instruments and all that other shit, and then what the kids do is they wind up stopping taking their medicine without telling their parents or anyone, and then they go batshit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at it from a money point of view. And
that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Who's giving out all the money to the politicians, or a big part of it? It's the big pharmacy and big gun. That's so. Yeah. It's always going to be a solution of one of those things.
Our friend that would look worrisome if we didn't know about him also likes to wear Nazi memorabilia.
Yeah, that's right. That's true too. I mean, and I don't think he's the slightest danger. But that's what I'm pointing out.
Heard a fly.
Yeah, I don't think he's the slightest danger, and yet all the red flags, if you don't know him, are there. And I agree. I don't. Maybe I'll be surprised one day. You know.
Hope not.
I'd like to see. I'm just glad Colin Quinn didn't live to see this, you know?
He did. He seems like he's tweeting and he's alive.
No. I don't think so. Let's go to Scott. Scott, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I have two daughters, 17, 19. My 19, we're dealing with some serious issues like opioid stuff that kind of picked up in school, and it's very difficult on the family. So my youngest is all honors, doing everything fantastically, and asked if she could do online school just to get out of that environment, because she said there's no way to escape just the craziness. And we did. And she's actually she's ahead of what she would be if she was in high school right now, and she's in like dual enrollment, you know, getting college.
Are you in a big city? Or are you in the suburbs?
No. Well, no. I mean, I think it's 350,000 in the city. But the whole point is, I think there's going to be, if your kid's disciplined and wants to be good, a big progression, or a lot of kids heading to do online school just to get out of the toxic environment.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think that looking at the online stuff would make a hell of a lot of sense and help out the school system it is. But I was just bringing up that here you are from a smaller town, and there's a crazy opioid problem, you know? And when people go back, it's up to the parentings. Here's two kids raised under the same roof, same parents, same thing. One kid has problems, one kid doesn't.
Most people I know who are troubled have a sibling who is not troubled. Most people I know, they have that circumstance where they have a brother or sister who is that person in their family.
Well, look at Chris Stanley. You were a problem person, drugs, smoking cigarettes, drinking booze.
Yeah.
And then your brother Vito is absolutely a sweetheart.
He's an angel
of the sweethearts. As a matter of fact,
he's Mr. Good Boy.
I'm going to announce something to Chris and Gail that is going to stun you both. Vito is now the country's premier comedy special critic.
What, Vito?
Really?
Your accomplishments.
I didn't want to tell you guys. I wanted to wait for this.
Congratulations to you,
Congrats,
Vito.
Vito.
Thank you, guys.
Now, do you think you can come up with this? Because we have more comedy specials than we do school shootings. I mean, they just come at. I mean, when
That's
I
a
was
lot.
younger, you didn't have to worry about bumping into it. You know, there would be a Robert Klein every once in a while, a Richard Pryor. Now, Giannis Papas put out 3 yesterday. What is the first special that you reviewed?
Chris Rock's new Netflix special, Tambourine.
You took him down a peg or two, I take it, huh?
There was some problems I had with his special, specifically the way it was shot. So I actually took some shots at Bo Burnham in this piece.
Hot take, Vito.
Hot take, Vito.
How did Bo Burnham become the director of this?
Well, he directed Gerard Carmichael's last special, 8. And I think Chris Rock had something to do with one of Gerard Carmichael's specials, so there's probably a connection there. But yeah, my biggest issue with the special was just the way it was shot. It was very bland. It's like tight shots on Chris Rock. And a Chris Rock special, it's usually him taking over the whole stage and like running around and being very big and animated. And this is just such a tight shot that you don't get that from him. It also all blends in. But I mean, the material is good. It just, when I saw
I'm reading it, you liked one half of it better than the other half.
I liked the first half better than the second half. The second half is heavily on his divorce and his relationship.
And you're like, boring, boring, boring.
But yeah, it's check it out, check out my review at the iBang, Vito Reviews, Chris Rock Tambourine.
Listen why I play, Chris Rock's Tambourine. No, Obama says we're not powerless to change gun laws. You were. You didn't do anything. Let's go over here to Jeff. Jeff, what's up?
What's going on, yo?
Hey.
Well, I was coming, I got 5 kids, kind of like a Brady Bunch type. I had 2, and then got custody of them 2, had them since they was babies, single father.
Right.
And 2 of them graduated high school, and I've got 3, one in high school, one in middle school, and one in 3rd grade. And people don't understand how brutal kids are. I mean, they're the meanest people in the world.
Yeah, we were all kids.
Oh, yeah, vicious.
Yeah, and nothing gets done to them. I mean, back when we was in school, we got suspended. We contemplated not even going home because your dad was going to beat the hell out of you or such shit. They get suspended like every other day, and they don't. Nobody cares. I mean,
I think I got suspended 12 or 13 times in my high school career, and I'm not. I think I had one year where I wasn't suspended as much as the other ones, but yeah, I got suspended a lot, and but it never occurred to me maybe I'll go shoot everybody at the school. I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't a thing then.
Wasn't in vogue.
I also didn't take it all that personal when I got suspended. You know what I mean?
It was nice. You could stay home.
It wasn't as nice as you think, Chris. I mean, daytime TV can be pretty monotonous. I had to make it to 1 o'clock before I got to see the movie. That was always my thing. 1 o'clock, the movie's on. Bernie Herman. I think it's a Cagney today. But I would be really disappointed if the movie turned out to be some kind of 1940s fucking costume piece.
That blows.
Yeah, they're going to get together. Scott, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. You didn't take it too personally because you took some self-responsibility. Like, I fucked up, whatever, I'm out. But look at the difference between when you were in school. You could come and go. Even when I was in high school, we could take our hunting rifles to school with us so we could get out to the woods faster. The access to guns, the ability to be able to do it was way more. So that leads us to think that maybe it's a cultural thing, not the fact that you can get a gun. It's harder to get guns now than it was when you were younger, than it was when I was younger. It's harder to get something done by it. So maybe it's the cultural, as much as I don't want to see a kid getting bullied, but these kids aren't doing anything. Their parents aren't.
But what's easier to change? What is easier to change, gun laws or the way a society behaves culturally? You know what I mean? Like, what is the? What's that?
The society's been changing. That's my point. From back when Ronnie, you listen to his stories of how his parents would say, "You get it back out there and freaking kick his butt." Where now it's
I don't know. I mean, here's also a difference. You had a shotgun. You had a hunting rifle. You didn't have this is semi-automatics that you could turn into an automatic. I mean, if somebody went into a school with a shotgun, what are they going to do? Take out a couple people, but it wouldn't be 20. It would already be a giant step ahead. I don't understand. I don't understand why we can't even fucking talk about it, Hey, Mark in Rhode Island.
Hey, Ronnie, what's up?
Hey.
It's crazy. I'm sitting here working in my home office today, and I get this random phone call. It happens to be someone calling from the NRA trying to get me on board that everyone should have a concealed carry permit because the more guns we have out there, the safer we're all going to be. And I just, think it's insane.
Well, I mean, immediately, if you would turn on talk radio yesterday, we were going like, when are we going to arm our teachers and train them how to properly shoot? Well, first of all, we can't even stop a lot of these teachers from fucking the kids. And I'm looking at the women. Let's go over here to Paul. Paul, what's up?
Hey, Ronnie. I called a while back about an incident in Kansas City regarding the nationalist movement incident that resulted in some deaths in a bar. And this really is a deja vu all over again. It's a component of that political elements, using the Second Amendment as being a polarizing flagship issue, representing freedom, right?
Yeah.
And the regulation of guns and encroachment on our freedoms, right? That if you in some way control guns, so many things will follow. But how about the mentally ill with machine guns? How about that being a encroachment on my freedoms, right?
Well,
having to worry about my children's schools.
Yeah, there's some truth to that, but I will also tell you this: that the military look of the SWAT team that came in there, the amount of weapons that they have, that's something that you also didn't see when I was young. You did not see guys coming in armed to the teeth like this.
They have tanks, SWAT teams now.
Yes, yeah, but small towns have tanks.
Mm-hmm.
SWAT was just a TV show that was supposedly happening in L.A. But I had never seen anything like that when I was younger. Here's Jason. Jason, what's up? Jason. Lost you, buddy. Let's go over here to Grant, Missouri. Grant.
Hey, there's a lot of stuff going on, and fully understand it because I'm just out of high school. I've been out of high school.
Yeah.
And I was just taught responsibility with them.
Look. First of all, if you look at the amount of people who, you mean responsibility with guns?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the vast majority of people are responsible with guns. There's no doubt about that. But that doesn't help us with this. Yeah. That doesn't do anything for us.
That's the problem.
And at a certain point, you have to say to yourself, okay, does it have to be? It isn't getting the majority of the people to be responsible because the majority of the people are.
And it's not like this kid was given a gun by his dad to hunt, but not properly given how to be responsible and not kill everyone in your school. You know what I mean? There is something bigger at work.
Let's go over here to Nick. Nick, what's up?
Yeah, hey guys. You may have touched on this a little bit earlier, but the one guy made the point that kids are dicks, and kids are dicks today, just like they were dicks back in the day. And when a tragedy like this happens, a lot of times people want to immediately go knee jerk, and we got to point to gun control, or we got to point to big pharma. But one of the biggest differences when you talk about bullying and the way that these kids are being treated, the same people that have kids that are 6 and 7 year olds that have Instagram accounts and have Facebook and have Twitter, and they all have these accounts where you used to get bullied or made fun of, and that was it, and it was kind of done after a certain amount of time. But now that just keeps going and is never ending. And the same people that want to blame gun control or whatever are also the same people that have these kids that are, have all these accounts and are probably doing and creating a lot of the problem.
So you honestly think that this is coming from online bullying?
I think a lot of it is.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down the AOL chat rooms. Shut them down.
No, we need those to chat with our friends.
Well, how old do you have to be to have a Twitter account? Like 13, or how old do you have to be at Facebook? Same kind of thing?
I think all of them have, an age suggestion, but I don't
stop you.
Yeah, no. I think nothing stops people. It just says, like, are you above this age? What year were you born? I think, they can't really enforce that, 12-year-olds have Instagram. Of course they do.
And again, we don't know whether that's connected. We don't know if any of this shit is connected. I mean,
right. And also the beginning of the kind of school shooting era, if you look back to like Columbine being like that first major one that seemed to kind of snowball slowly and now is out of control. That wasn't really during, yes, the internet existed, but it wasn't during a high like social media time.
Yeah.
Yes,
Dial-up
there were
was so popular then.
Yes, exactly. So it's, I know that was still of internet era, but I'm not sure if that's exactly, the reason for the problem. Maybe it doesn't help and maybe it exacerbates things. I don't know, but.
Well, look, remember with those kids, they were dressed in black and wearing trench coats. Exactly what I'm wearing today in New York City.
Right.
I'm wearing a black trench coat, black shirt, looking for trouble, I guess. I don't know. Is it the drugs? Is it metal? Is it rap? Is it movies? Is it the fact that no one can get their feelings hurt these days? Is it the fact that we have too many guns? Is there not enough guns? Why aren't we talking about it 24 hours a day? And our phones were exploding today, even though we said we didn't want to talk about it. In 2 days, you'll be thinking of something else.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lie to act like we care. It's a lie. It's a lie to act like we care about mental health because we're not going to fucking spend the money on that. And it's a lie to act like we care about controlling the guns because a majority of the people in this country don't. And a majority of the money doesn't want that to happen. Well, there's Charlie, the Vikings fan.
Oh, God.
He was so sure they were going to go all the way. He told me the Eagles cheated. He doesn't know what he's talking. He was talking through his own pain.
Yeah, it hurts. I know.
I wouldn't.
I don't know now. Of course,
I have no idea. When you're a champ, you don't know. Let's go over here to Ian. Ian, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, Bennington? I'm getting flashbacks to back when you did that interview with Doug Stanhope, and he was talking about how I think it was in New Mexico or Arizona, rather, where he was talking about like the CIA and people going crazy and shit like that.
Well, he was actually what he was talking about is his girlfriend Bingo has mental problems, well documented. They talk about it all the time, and how difficult it is for them. People who have the motivation to get help.
Yes.
It's very, very hard. And yet we're bringing up mental health things. And when they bring up mental health, they're trying to say, hey, let's target the weirdos and take them out. It's more than that, obviously. How do people get to this fucking point? That's what we don't want to deal with in this country. Because the only way that you could figure this out. I'm trying to figure out what is that all over? Is that their backpacks all over the?
Yeah. It looks like anything that they had on them, they had to toss in a pile, and then they, after that, had them all walking with either their hands on their head, hands up, or like on the.
Why
shoulders.
does everybody need a backpack? You got a fucking laptop? How much I did not fucking carry a bunch of shit around when I was younger. I came in like I come in here now, paperless. I think there's way too much stress on kids. Way too much fucking stress. Here's Jason. Jason, what's up?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if you saw the new trend. You know, everybody says thoughts and prayers, but now every time a school shooting happens, you see these memes out there that say, "Oh, don't post the picture of the shooter, don't post his name and everything," and that's become like the new movement. And I agree that we shouldn't do that, but I mean, does it really help? Does it do anything? It's just something to say after these things happen.
It's just something to fucking say.
It is something to say because honestly, there's a certain number of mass shooters that you remember their name or you remember their face because of whatever reason, because of the media coverage or just because it was a super devastating tragedy. But other than those, there's hundreds in between that I don't know the names or the faces of, but I could tell you, oh yes, this happened in Colorado and this one happened in
but
Virginia.
remember in Kentucky last week, because it wasn't as sexy as a location as South Florida, and that you didn't have as many bodies, that came and went very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And we even brought up on the air, oh, this one they're not running with.
Yeah.
This one did not pass the audition. When it's South Florida, and this is a very well-off community, big school, like 3,000 kids, and you're trying to find that one weird kid who doesn't even go to the school anymore. And I heard his teacher being interviewed last night said, I don't know, he was in my class. He was a very quiet kid. Didn't seem like he had friends, but also wasn't trouble for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what is supposed to be this warning light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how many times do you look around and you think, well, that person seems pretty edgy?
Yeah.
You don't want everybody to be a Stepford wife either, you know?
I've talked about this before, that when I was in school, I was a writing major. There was somebody in my major who wrote about violent stories all the time, wrote about rape, wrote about weird stuff, all the creepy stuff with women all the time. I think it was the Virginia Tech shooter who also wrote like a weird play that everyone was like, well, why didn't they know? And we're like, dude, we have one of those guys, and we're all just like, he's pretty weird, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he was kind of strange, but nobody felt like.
But a lot of young people write that kind of shit.
Exactly.
I mean,
so how are you supposed to know if that is his fantasy life, if that is just something that he's interested in because it's a dark subject matter, or if is he acting out something he wishes he could do? You can't sit there and go like that. So
all kids, they go to horror movies first and foremost.
Yeah.
The biggest movies for the least amount of effort, money.
Oh yeah,
that you have to put into it, are horror movies.
The amount of people I know who like that's what they were into as kids is just like the worst horror movies that I would never want to watch. Is that a red flag for a personality?
I think it is, but you also have to say that's the majority of the people.
Yes,
the majority of the people, it's a red flag. You just saw Philly go fucking crazy over winning a football game. They went batshit. Maybe that's the kind of thing we need to do, is let off a little steam every once in a while. Just admit that we're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Have a monkey day where everybody just gets to climb around and act like a monkey. If we just, I'm not saying we go to the full purge. Okay. I know a lot of people are calling for the purge right now. I'm just saying a batshit monkey day where people get to throw their shit if they want to.
Sounds more pleasant than the purge.
I didn't see the purge, but I feel like I know everything about it. And there's like 4 purges now, right?
There's 4.
Hey Kevin, what's up, buddy?
Hey, buddies. So I just want to kind of go back to the idea of social media being an influence on this kind of behavior.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as simple necessarily as online bullying. There's an effect with this like hyper individualism thing that you experience if you're constantly 25,000 times a day, seeing how the world responds to you and how you interact with the world. It's such an endless, continual cycle. If you mix that with the fact that America is already a hyper-individualistic society and a very angry society, I mean, and the rockets red glare, right? We scream about these people kneeling right before we watch them bash each other's brains in until they don't fucking work anymore. It's already an angry, violent culture combined with this sense of, like, I am the most important being in this universe. it just sets you up in the feedback loop where it's so dangerous to get lost in yourself.
I will agree that for some reason we feel like extraordinary is the only way to be, you know? And everything, all of our sports, our art reflect that I am somehow a very extraordinary, magical person. And I will be recognized. I will be recognized. That is fucking nuts about America. Nuts. Hey, Cam, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, hey guys. Every time I hear these explanations, the thing that kind of gets me is between mental illness, social media, bullying, medicating kids, all that shit. That's all true up here. I mean, that's all 100% true up here. And it's not, the shootings don't happen. So it access to guns, I can't think of a better explanation. I mean,
I think that there is a thing in the United States of America of kind of what we consider revenge. I will fucking make you pay for what you did. And this is what we do when you hear about people hurting wives and ex-girlfriends. This fucking thing that I am so special that I will make you fucking pay for what you did. I remember when it would just be going postal. How did we chill out postal employees? Let's go back and figure out. Because when I was a kid, that was the only mass shooters. A guy who worked in a post office. And I said to my dad, what the fuck goes on in the post office?
What are they doing?
And my dad said, monotony. He goes, it's so monotonous there that one day they... Look, he may have been wrong. I mean, he said a lot of shit to me just to get me to stop from talking. But he told me the big problem was monotony.
I think they must have just solved it with like a casual Friday or something. Just to change it up.
Here's what's true in America, though. Every day is fucking casual day.
Formal Fridays?
I mean, it's hard not to get beat. Just one day you don't wear pajamas or fucking yoga pants. You want to wear yoga pants? You better be fucking doing yoga, not just going to the supermarket. Hey, Tag, what's up?
Hello?
Yeah.
I think it's because they took God out of schools. When I went to school, we had God.
But it's just not true. It's just not true.
I think so, and there's no respect.
Well, first of all, you can always send your child to any kind of religious school that you want. But the public schools never, other than you can say God during the thing, they never taught religion in a public school in this country.
They did when I went to school.
When did you go? When did you go to school?
In the 70s.
There's no way a public school.
They were teaching Bible? Like Bible classes?
No. We did the Pledge of Allegiance every single
They still do.
Yeah.
They still do.
They still do those.
Even with God in it?
Yes. God, the word God, it's not going to change it. Yes, every day. It's the only people. But this is an interesting thing, Tag. You don't know your own Pledge of Allegiance anymore.
No.
Maybe you should be saying it at home.
So much.
Maybe you should be saying it at home. Look, if you had a public school, right, and you have kids of all different backgrounds, and then there was a Catholic teacher who was teaching the Catholic way, or a Baptist, the religious parents would go batshit.
Yeah. Also, this is one that does come up a lot, and it's come up today, where it's like a lack of respect, right? Like you're not taught respect or discipline. Do you really think that this kid's reaction is just like a little discipline or respect? I mean,
Somebody
you just
kick that ass.
Yeah, like you just described. A teacher said he was pretty well behaved, pretty quiet. He seemed like not the kid who was acting out, right? Like he wasn't the cool guy who was like being bad in class.
Right.
He was a quiet kid. So the teachers are not saying, "Oh, this was a really disrespectful child."
Yeah,
they weren't taught respect at home.
Oh my God! So what do we?
But But like someone who is willing to murder their own peers and put their life on the line, or many times even take their own life, I don't think is like just like a lack of respecting authority.
And by the way, too, it's also true that people have been abused at their home and then don't go in and shoot everybody at school.
Yeah.
It's not this simple. It's certainly something crazy is fucking going on. But I'll bring this up to you. Do you think that the parents respect the teachers these days? You ever hear a parent say, "Oh, my kid is the best fucking teacher"? You know what? I thought my kid was really good, but then I got a call from a teacher and I found out he wasn't. So I agreed with the teacher. Just doesn't happen. Jay in Illinois. Jay.
Yo, what's up, Ronnie? A lot of this, you hear a lot of people talking about the mental health aspect of this, and you really got to kind of take a step back and view like what's been happening in our country in the last, since 2000, the last 18 years. Mental illness is rampant. You hear about shootings way more than you did 50 years ago. And I kind of view this as something being tied in with stupid shit you see on the internet and YouTube, like kids killing themselves because they're eating Tide Pods. They're doing it because some are doing it for sure. Like maybe.
Did your phone just go out?
I hope he didn't need a Tide Pod.
I don't know. I it's going to be hanging from now on, that Tide Pod thing. But that's another thing. Before we had cell phones, no one fell off. Fuck. When I started radio, I never said, "Hey, are you there?" Everybody was there all the time. This is what's driving people crazy. Way down yonder. I can't get that out of my head now. I'm still singing Honey. Vito, you think you're better than us now that you're a fucking critic. Well, guess what? We're going to get even with you.
He's throwing in our face.
What's with that picture of you looking so...
I don't know.
I mean, what are you, Indiana Jones? Are you fucking reviewing a thing?
That is my Indiana Jones collector's hat I bought at Disney World. I don't know why that picture's up, but I dig it.
I do remember when you wore that hat. Yeah, it looks good.
Do you wear the hat while you're reviewing? Is that why you have
it's
that
my
on in the...
It's my press hat.
Are you
the idea.
First of all, Chris?
Yeah.
This kid is shooting by you like a fucking rocket. This better be a wake-up call for you.
It is.
Yeah.
It's,
He's a go-getter.
I know. This review column
Look at the length of this column alone.
It's a short.
Yeah, I'm not going to read it, but just go look at that.
Oh,
keep going.
Oh my!
Keep going.
Look at all the words you put in there.
That's great.
It's around 1,200 words.
Damn.
What?
That's literally 1,100 more words that I want to read.
It should be Vito's long reviews.
Hey, come on,
Well,
Chris.
it's
Why can't you be proud for him?
Yeah.
Because he keeps throwing it in my face.
Why don't you take him out for lunch today?
No.
Shave my back.
Is that so much to ask?
Wash my feet and shave my back, Chris.
That's creepy.
Shouldn't my ankle feel better by now?
Yeah, I would think it would.
Why do I have to be topped by all this other news? Why is it now about heart attacks and shootings? What about my ankle?
I'm happy to talk about your ankle and Nick Foles.
Thanks. I'm going to take some... what do you got here for me, Chris? Advil?
That's some Advil.
Is an Advil an ibuprofen? Because I read a thing the other day that says America takes too much ibuprofen.
I believe it is an ibuprofen.
I think it said what is it? Oh, I don't want to say because Advil's an actual thing. What is it, Johnny? Do you feel like rock is what could save everything? I don't know. Let me see how this starts. Your wife's a teacher. Am I right?
Yeah, so?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's just the whole thing is too disturbing and no one gives a fuck, so it's never going to change. Because the big money will always support the guns and they can't wean off of it.
What are you saying? It's the fat cats down in Washington, Johnny?
I would say so, and it was pretty. And yes, my wife is a teacher, and I was watching that with her yesterday. It just, all I could think about is, watching the SWAT team with the video of the kids in the classroom where there's all of a sudden a SWAT team just busts into a classroom. It's just scary and sad. And
Johnny, it would be easier for you if your wife was a coal miner. You would worry less.
Probably.
Than if she was a teacher.
Do you think it would be good if she was able to carry a firearm and defend herself and her students?
I would not.
Just with her husband.
I would not like
Can I tell you what the big problem is, Johnny? In my day, okay, back in the day, we stayed to the end of the concert. We didn't leave after Estranged, which was what, 7 songs into the set?
I saw 8 songs.
When you're talking to yourself, come on, honey, grab your bag. There's nobody there. Let's go.
That's all I could. It was 8 songs. Thank you.
Was it?
I think so. I believe it was. One of them was really long. So
let me tell you, he went to see Guns N' Roses, right? And he missed "Welcome to the Jungle."
What the fuck?
Sweet Child of Mine. Now, you
needs
wanted
that?
to go to that place, Chris, but they decided working here 11 years isn't enough.
No, they said beat it, fatty.
Why do you have to always resort to that?
I don't think anyone said that to you.
No one did.
No one brought up his weight.
When you talk to yourself.
And I'm now not invited to the Springsteen on Broadway because they think I'll leave at intermission.
Is that right?
Could be.
I hope he does Born to Run. You know what I mean?
Please.
Why wouldn't he?
I don't know why Billy Joel doesn't go on Broadway.
Because he's got to deal with Madison Square Garden, and they pay him a crap ton of money to do those shows once a month.
Yeah, somebody told me he's getting like $50-$60 an hour.
Wow, it's doing well.
At least.
And he's sitting down. He's not even doing any of the heavy lifting. It's 9 o'clock. Yes. All right, Johnny, I got packed people. They just, they won't express themselves. Thanks for giving me a little reprieve, though. Peace.
You're welcome.
Richard, California.
Yeah. So I'm speaking to like the bullying and the difference between the kids now and the kids back when I was going to school. Is like if you got bullied back in school back in the day, you went home. You had to find other kids to go out and play with. Another avenue of release and find friends. Today, the kids, if they get bullied in school, it's too easy to go home and get buried in the computer or on the phone and introvert and go in. So there's never any socialization that happens. So for me, obviously a mental health issue, and it's how does that get addressed? Because I don't think it happens to gun control, and I don't think it happens.
Everybody talks about these kids when this happens, but 2 days ago we'd be calling a kid a snowflake if he couldn't be called a name. You know what I mean? Why can't we say Pollock anymore? I mean, it was better then. Why can't we make fun of trans people? But as soon as there's a shooting, we got to do something about the bullying. Again, America, you batshit. You crazy. I'd like to give this fucking nation a giant pill. Cyanide.
Oh, God.
And, we always say that these people are crazy, but I don't think that he would fit up until this point that thing that could get you put away. And even when people are put away, there's people who want people in their family to go into a mental hospital, and they're like, well, we can only hold them from this amount of time. Fucking nuts. Let's go over here to Will. Will, what's up?
Hey, Bennington and Company, how's it going?
Hey.
It's kind of a double-edged sword with this stuff, and yeah, we have the same problem with adults causing these issues, but, back in my day when you went to school and you acted up in school, you got your ass beat with a paddle by the principal, which was usually some linebacker from some previous football team, and knew damn well when you got home, you were going to get your ass beat by your dad.
Let me tell you,
I shouldn't do that anymore.
I was around for fucking paddling, and some of the guys really got into it when have you fucking sign things. And my 8th grade teacher was a paddler, right? And then when I was in high school, he was shipped to the high school. And his first day there, bunch of kids showed up. Where's your fucking paddle now, fucker? You know, and he's like, hey, you guys are all grown up. I don't have to do that shit. But I can tell you that happened. This thing runs a lot deeper than you could just hit somebody and they will stop. It doesn't fucking happen that way.
There's plenty of studies that say that type of reaction only creates fear. It doesn't teach lessons, and so therefore you put someone in a position who's always in a fearful position, always in an idea of violence. I'm not saying, I just don't think, again, as I just mentioned, this wasn't a student who was acting up, so I don't even think that this applies.
But also, what do fearful people do? They fucking stock guns up.
Yes, and honestly, we have certainly seen that as a personality type with a lot of these mass shooter, school shooter types, is that they were in a position of being afraid of things. And then this is their way of coping with that fear.
Jeremy, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I think I have an answer for the postal worker, why they don't go, quote, postal anymore. I don't know if it's just me, but every postal worker I see nowadays is black, and black people don't do weird, crazy shit like that.
They do drive-bys.
Doesn't seem like.
I mean, I admit that there's a more.
They're not kid fuckers.
It's true. It's not true.
They're not mass shooters.
None of this is true. South Chicago is a terrible problem.
Turf war going on.
I don't even think it's a turf war, to tell you the truth, dude. I think people pop out, they see a stranger, and they start shooting. They're not doing the old style, oh, I'm the one who slings fucking rock here. Yeah, it just doesn't happen. They see someone they don't know, and they start popping. The Broward County Sheriff's going to come out. Well, again, what has he got? Trump is going to visit. All right. I'll tell you one thing. Trump knows that Florida vote is always so close. He's got to pay attention to them. Right. He's got to pay attention to our nuttiest. Actually, even his house isn't that far away from this.
Oh, Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah. Why does his house have a name? That's odd. No, it's not. It was Diana Lago. That's his house's sister. Listen, we got to come up with a name for our house. I'm thinking Petey Joe. You know what I mean? Like, not just Pete, not just Joe, but Petey Joe. And all the anchors have flown down there. It's the same fucking shit. Oh, where can I send the flowers that you put up in front of everything? It's the same thing every time. I was yesterday, like, I'm not going to get caught up in this. Before I know it, I'm just fucking watching it.
Yep. I had the same.
I couldn't sleep well last night. I would love for us just to, without pointing fingers, let's just figure out a way. Is that a crazy thought? I mean, I'm actually seeing a lot of people on TV with the sound down, and they look like crazy people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, check this dude out. He's probably, either a teacher. People look crazy to me. I'm not going to lie about that. You know what I take refuge in? I love to read people's specials reviews. And I've been over, what's it called? Just Vito's Review.
Vito Reviews.
Great fucking title, Vito. Vito Reviews. On the nose. What's the next one you're doing?
I don't have to find that out.
Why don't you find out now? Give us a list of the comedy specials that are coming out. Because you missed the Fred Armisen, which, to me, that was the one. A guy who's doing a show just for drummers, talking about drumming. I didn't see it, but I saw the trailer, and he did a Fox decomposing, and it was dead on, and it was hilarious. But don't act like we've seen that anywhere else but in the movie adaptation. I can't think of another time that they've showed a sped up Fox decomposing. But
it's very specific.
See if you can find the trailer, Chris. But it literally looked exactly like it.
I
gotta listen to the whole. Just put it in, quietly.
Yeah, you play it in
Play it in Q. You're always
In Q.
down. Yeah, he doesn't. He hates that. Like he's just going through different drumming things. You'll see it when he's lying down.
All right, here we go.
Fox. Well, like those fast motion videos.
That's so weird.
I know. It's
That's
so weird.
Weird and creepy how accurate that is.
But could you think of another place other than in the beginning of the movie adaptation that took place in?
Not sure why that was. I guess that's the only reason it's familiar to me.
Do, 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 do. Well, this is weird. Trump just announced that he will be going down there and that he's bringing Stormy Daniels with him.
What?
Why would
This is highly,
He says his friend.
Wow.
this is highly unusual.
Everything's unusual about everything. There was also a mistake that Congress had, and this is to let you know how stupid they worked for over 2 weeks around the clock until they finally came to a compromise on gun control. And I'm like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
You don't need control.
They're saying
You know how
chewing
kids
gum
are.
is fine, but not bubble gum.
They stick it under the desk.
Everyone,
it's a problem.
Since all you bullies tweet out there, why don't you just tweet something nice to Colin Quinn?
I agree.
The funniest.
Love Colin so much.
Love Colin, hate all the other comedians.
Me too.
Most of them are responsible for all the bad things that happen at schools.
And then they make jokes about them. Oh my god.
There's some shit that isn't funny. Ba-ba-ba-da-dum. Ooh, 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 ooh. Nikki Hex said that Ronnie B's description of Keeping Up with the Kardashians was the exact episode plot from a few years ago. I forgot what it was, but it was something like, "Did you call him?"
That was the whole episode.
There was anytime I turn it on, I've never watched a whole episode, but it's always something that, did you get a hold of the florist? Better call the florist. It's always something that doesn't matter.
Should you have people to do that?
We need to break here.
Yeah, we should break.
Vito, why don't you get a chance to talk about the Unmasked since you're a big reviewer? Do you got the names of stuff that's coming out soon?
No, I don't have the names of stuff that's coming out soon yet.
Check with the.
I just checked. The only one right now that they've announced ahead of time is not for another month, but they announced some right before.
What is it?
That's going to be Ricky Gervais' Humanity on.
Perfect.
March
That would have been. That's all you needed
13th.
to say. Say, I'll definitely be doing Ricky Gervais' Humanity.
I'll definitely be doing Ricky Gervais' Humanity.
Now it looks like you just do what you're fucking told. You come off looking like a bottom.
I'm just definitely going to be doing that one.
I'll tell you, with everything that you got to worry about these days, I'm going to give you an easy solution. Ring. Ring's mission is to make neighborhoods safer. Today, over 1 million people use the amazing Ring video doorbell to help protect their homes. Ring knows home security begins at the front door, but it doesn't end there.
So now they're extending that same level of security to the rest of your home with the Ring Floodlight Cam. Just like Ring's amazing doorbell, Floodlight Cam is a motion-activated camera and floodlight that connects right to your phone with HD video and two-way audio that lets you know the moment anyone steps on your property.
See and speak to visitors, even set off an alarm right from your phone. With Ring Floodlight Cam, when things go bump in the night, you'll immediately know what it is. Whether you're home or away, the Ring Floodlight Cam lets you keep an eye on your home from anywhere.
Ring Floodlight offers the ultimate in home security with high visibility floodlights and a powerful HD camera that puts security in your hands. With Ring, you're always home. Save up to $150 off a Ring of Security kit when you go to ring.com/comedy. Ring.com/comedy. That's ring.com/comedy.
Yeah, buddies. Bring the rock down. It's the Bennington Show. Thursday.
That's why I'm thirsty.
Vito, is there a vote out tonight? Are they going to vote someone off the Olympics?
There's no episode tonight.
What?
What's the episode?
There's no Big Brother tonight. Tomorrow is a 2-hour episode, I believe.
Tomorrow?
What?
Tomorrow I'm at the stand.
I know. I don't like this Friday night 2-hour episode nonsense. Give us our typical Thursday night eviction.
Easy, man. It's just TV. All right.
Freaking out.
Hey, school shooter, take it down a notch. All right.
I think we should report him.
No.
Hey, Cleeball, do me a favor. All right. Try to get along with the other kids. I'm on edge. There's a toboggan sitting right behind you. Let's go over here to, hey, Ryan wants to talk about you, Vito. Good news. Ryan, what's up?
Yeah, I figured out a way for Chris Stanley, a true way for Chris Stanley to show his appreciation for Vito's new movie critic website.
Yeah.
That Vito will know is sincere and from the heart.
Yeah.
Drink several bottles of Fiji water and come in and piss on his back.
Okay.
That's an odd thing, Ryan.
Yeah.
Do you like male piss?
Clean
Chris,
piss.
it would be helpful if you didn't take this kind of call seriously. All right?
That's concern.
Tom, Baltimore, The Wire.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I think it's the tree hugger's fault. When's the last time you saw a tree fort?
Okay, we've suddenly become joking calls. We've become joking calls. Jason, Atlanta.
Hey, all right, good. I can bring this back a little bit serious here.
Okay.
I just want to toss my theory and everything that, before Columbine happened, you had all the kind of people that are doing the shootings now. You had the guys who just sit around masturbating to pictures of animals being tortured, one thing about how they wanted to kill the girl. And
Chris
burn them at
Stanley.
school.
Yeah.
Look, he does a good job. He's a producer.
Is he? Oh, is he? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you had people like that long before any of this happened. But the problem is they would think about doing the shooting, but then they'd think, no, I probably shouldn't do it. I'll get fucked up. After Columbine, though, I think what's happened is they've started realizing, yeah, we can do this. We can do this. It's 3 times a year this is happening. I can do this. I don't have to just sit around and think about it. I can go out there and do it. And that's what I think is going on. I think that's why they keep on happening. And the scary thing about that is, how do you really stop that at that point? If what's really happening is you just had a complete change in the mindset of the pissed off high school kid that he now thinks, yeah, I can go do that. I can just go and shoot people up. I don't have to be afraid to do it anymore.
It is no doubt that it's a weird trend. One that we have to keep an eye on here with Chris Stanley or Vito.
Yeah.
Especially Vito.
Well, the difference between you and Vito is I think that he would plan it and then also reload. A big part of your problem is you don't have the follow through.
But between the two of them, who do you see as more the type with the pent up anger? Like, who doesn't have a release between the two of them?
Well, Chris has an immediate release. Chris has a what I would call meltdown 4 times an hour. Vito, he has an anger problem, but only with Chris.
He definitely bottles up that anger a lot more than I do. I feel free to just let it
He's
all
the
out.
only one I have anger with, so just rest assured that if anything happened, it would probably be a solo act.
Really, you're going to target me. Bullshit.
I mean, that's not as scary for us.
Yeah.
You guys are fine.
One of the shortest office shootings in American history took place today. Vito came in and put two in the back of fucking Chris's head.
It was an office shooting, but it just so happened to be in an office. He could have done this anywhere. Everyone else in the office was safe.
I think he put more than 2 in me. I think he'd keep fucking pulling that trigger.
I'd also specifically do it in the office portion of the 36th floor, not in the studio portion. Just stay out of everybody's way.
I like that.
Freak out all the music programmers.
Yeah, the music programmers would not be comfortable with this, but You guys would be fine.
Let me tell you something. You could have. Well, I don't want to say anything because then it would be taken. You know what? I had a very funny, dark joke. I'm not going to tell it. Why? Responsible. Chris, why don't you plug about the next Unmasked thing?
The next Unmasked with the host of Weekend Update and the co-head writers of Saturday Night Live, Michael Che and Colin Jost, is happening Monday, March 12th at 3 p.m. at the SiriusXM studios. Go to the ibang.com for a chance at free tickets.
Why can't you just be a regular person saying it?
I wasn't being regular?
Come on, you know you weren't. You were reading. Watch, I'm going to get Vito to say it. Vito, why don't you plug the Unmasked?
You guys know where I'm going to be on Monday, March 12th?
No, where, buddy?
I'm going to be here at 3 p.m. watching Ron interview Michael Che and Colin Jost. And it's going to be the time of your life. Go to the iBang if you want to come, too.
Are you saying other people can come?
Anybody who wants to come can come. They just got to go to the ibang.com. Scroll past my little article right there. Vito Reviews. Go on over to
yourself now.
It's great, man.
But it's conversational, Chris.
It is conversation. I feel like I'm in a conversation.
I feel like I could answer back and ask questions. How much are these tickets?
Dude, honestly, they're free. That's the crazy part. And you don't got to wait outside like an SNL. You can see SNL without sleeping.
Terrific he is at this.
This is so fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a really fun play.
It's like making a friend, not having an angry person read to you.
I feel I'm very pleasant.
If you want to meet Angry Chris, you can come to the Unmasked and meet Angry Chris.
Get your picture taken with Angry Chris.
Mid-meltdown.
All right, get the fuck in there right now. It's starting in 5 fucking minutes. Get your fucking narrow asses in there. Hey, Mike, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, Bennington?
What do you say, buddy?
Hey, I've worked in forensics with adolescents and done a lot of psychological testing and counseling.
Okay, well, I have quite a few radio shows. So all of us are doing well.
So it seems that's the kind of common thread that I've seen with a lot of these kids is that you have to be able to dehumanize people, like see them as less than human. Sort of like the way that the military does. You know, they call the enemies gooks and sanders, and they dehumanize them. And then because you have to be able to justify what you're doing. I mean, these people don't feel bad about it. They've justified that it's okay. And there's just a real lack of empathy development, moral development that leads to all this stuff. And all the other social things influence it. But if you have moral development, if you're able to connect with people and see people as equal and as human beings, you're not going to be a mass shooter.
Well, now, do you feel like people have less empathy now than years ago?
I do.
Now, where would we have lost that? Where would that have taken place? Could that be video games? Could that be film?
It could be, but I think overall it's just a lack of connectedness with people. I mean, our society just isn't connected anymore.
And yet we've never been more connected because of the goddamn internet. Everybody knows what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
But it's superficial. It's not an actual connection. Like, I might know what you're having for dinner tonight, but I don't know if you and your family are having issues or if your son's having problems. I don't know that
personal,
stuff.
dude. I'm going to be totally honest with you. The answer is yes to all of that. I mean, you happy now, Mike? You know it all. Well, it was funny. I was watching TV last night, and the guy's on there going, "Do not become numb to this. Do not." And I'm answering my TV. How can I not be numb? If I let this get to me, I'd be freaked out every 60 hours because that's how often it happens. Every 60 hours.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Well, I wish I worked in forensics. I'm not going to lie to you. I was very impressed with your job. You know what? Pretty good prize closet.
Yeah.
Just for having a pretty cool job. Vito, I just noticed that your clap sounded like somebody taking 2 logs and smacking them together. It was very wooden sounding.
Wood
It's like,
bones.
remember, like they would have you like hit blocks together when you were in school when you were a kid. That's what it's. I mean, you guys sounded perfectly normal, and then I heard. I think your bones are hollow. I think that's the problem.
It's these damn pitted hands.
Last night, I actually started to read this thing that somebody in India has called in NASA because they think they found cave drawings of UFOs. And I'm like, this could be true. And then another part of it was like, this is a bullshit thing online. I go, no, it could be true. I was just trying to give myself an opportunity to believe in something. You know what I mean? You know that Eagles long snapper who is the magician? He was on, is it America's Got Talent? AGT? You guys never saw him? The magician?
No, I don't think I've seen the magician.
He snaps for punts and, stuff like that. They're now greenlighting his movie because of the Super Bowl thing. Yeah, he's like he's a really fucking good close-up magician.
What? I did not know that.
Yeah, it was like a couple years ago. Go to like any of the America's Got Talent YouTubes. And I think his name is
John Dorn?
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
Dornbos?
Dornbos?
Hey, James. James, what's up?
Hey, man, I got a great idea. And how you guys doing?
Good, man.
Why don't we just stop selling assault rifles, buying and selling assault rifles? We don't have to hit the big body count that we have. It's not that complicated to me. We don't need them.
You realize that there's money in those assault rifles, right?
I'm not making any money off the assault rifles.
I'm not making any money off this. I never even thought of it that way. I'm with James on this.
Weird.
All right, buddy. Hey, it's that simple. We're just going to stop selling the assault rifles.
That I can get behind.
Vito, call down to the sales floor. Tell them to take the assault rifles out of the display case. Did you find it, Chris?
Yes, I did. This is John Dornbos on America's Got Talent.
Here's the deal. I love this. So here's a paper clip. You're going to do me a huge favor.
Okay.
All I want you to do is say stop.
Stop.
Okay, I'm going to cut the cards. Whatever this is, we're not going to look at it. This gets folded up and it gets placed in this paper clip right here. Mel B, this is going to go in front of you. When I was a kid, I was fascinated by counting cards. This isn't 100%, but hopefully you're going to notice a pattern here. We're going to shoot one out and hopefully it'll look familiar. Ooh, look. See, there's an ace. I tell you what, all I need you to do is pull one out.
Do you want me to pull one out?
Yeah, you're going to pull a card out.
All
So
right.
you're going to reach in there and just pull one out.
Watch, it'll be his penis.
You got it?
Yep.
Well, yeah, show everybody what it is. Watch, this is going to be sick. It's going to be a 2.
Oh, was that bad?
Yeah, that's okay. Watch the 8. It's a shake. Watch the 8. See, it's a shake, and we can get the 2 out. See what I mean? See what we did there? You know what I'm saying?
I love close-up magic.
By a comedy magician is pulled out of your. So look, there's a 3. Hopefully we can shoot one out of the center. Whoop, look, there's a 4 right there. So Mel,
Who's going to play Howie in the movie?
go.
Stop.
Okay, take that card right there. If that's the 5, that's sick. Check it out. See if we got it. That's
Oh my
sick.
God.
This is unbelievable.
Dude, that's really cool. And it is awesome, like, when you meet someone who can
It's
do that kind of stuff.
unbelievably cool.
I think the 6 is 38 cards from the top, so we're going to kind of shoot one out here. Boom, look, there's a 6. Simon, do me a favor. If you watch the 10 here, we can just cover it.
How did this guy not win?
How,
I know.
I am ready.
What other
Okay, 6
talent is there?
Stop. Okay, we need the 8. What do we got? Show it right here. We need the 8 for the crowd. Show it. Oh. There it is. I put a card in my pocket.
This is going to be a great
See,
movie.
There's the 9 right there. Now watch. We're going to cut these up like this, and hopefully we can find the 10, the Jack, the Queen, and the King.
Oh my God.
There's the 10, the Jack, the Queen.
That's unbelievable.
So Simon, do me a favor. Think of any cards you want to. Don't name it out loud yet. Okay, this is gonna be unbelievable. You got it? Yeah. Watch this. We're gonna shuffle these up. Simon, name the card.
Simon's got to act like this. Like, what are you trying to do?
Clubs.
Fool
I
me?
did this because I thought I would go through here and not just shuffle all the cards, but take all of them and shuffle all those clubs back in order like that.
No way.
Had you said hearts, I said, what the heck? Why don't we shuffle all the hearts in order?
Like there's a guy crying.
We would have actually shuffled all the spades in order just like that.
How do you do that?
How do you do that? It's a trick.
It's sorcery.
We folded a card. We
What
put
is
it in a
this
paper clip.
magic?
We didn't look at it.
Look, people are leaning forward.
The card you thought of, the 3 of clubs. Right
Holy shit! that just fucked me up. Here, I thought it was the best trick I ever heard. Saw. This is a movie I'm going to go see. No, he had to have heart surgery, I think, this year or something. So, but they're still going to give him a Super Bowl ring.
Oh, that's really sweet.
But he has to pick it out of a pile of other
What?
rings. It's all part of the fun.
I think you can do it.
Hey, Tristan in Virginia.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy. What do you got?
Yeah, you're saying something about
I'm
groups.
saying this, I'm saying that.
So on. You're saying why, like when do people stop getting along? I said they stopped getting along with the legalization of marijuana.
When they made marijuana legal, that's when this shit started. The day after legal marijuana.
Really?
Columbine. What the fuck?
Do you think they're related?
Yeah, it is related. Tristan, you've hit on something.
Legal weed.
We got to make weed illegal, and then everything else will fall into place. I saw Jeff Sessions today, and he tied it into drugs. You know, we got to get to drugs. We got to stop the gangs. Okay. That's what you were saying even before the shooting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We still should, I guess.
I told you so.
The only way to end this is to get people to come out to the stand this weekend. Okay? It's going to be a hell of a show. Jim, Nebraska. Jim.
Hey, Ron. How you guys doing?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Change the subject a little bit.
Please do.
Did you happen to see the opening ceremonies of the Olympics last week?
No, I have it taped, though, and I still haven't watched it. Was
I
it
did
good?
watch it. Yeah.
Was it beautiful?
Oh, yeah. It was.
Well, I just want to talk about the double standard in broadcasting. When the flag bearer from Tonga came in, Katie Couric lost her shit. And if a male broadcaster would have said something about a woman coming into the stadium like she did, they'd have had him back on the plane back to New York.
You know, it's a good point, Jim. I am tired of us being treated like sex objects.
Yeah, you're
And
right. That happens so often for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are really treated, like by us, by women, like pieces of meat.
Yeah.
Meat.
I just had to say last night to a woman, no, I didn't put a loaf of bread down my pants. Stop bringing it up. And no, I don't think you can tell the outline of where my penis is right now, let alone scrotum.
That's a Me Too moment right there.
What do you mean by that?
Like you were sexually harassed.
Why does everybody else got to jump into it? This is a me moment. Okay?
You're right.
Let this be about me for a moment.
Hashtag just me.
Just one moment. I had to say to a woman, yeah, I guess if you were stroking it, I would eventually ejaculate. Why even bring it up? Just one moment for me. This Katie Couric, I am tired of the way she looks at men.
Yeah. It's
specifically Tongan men.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of this, and Chris, you didn't look it up, but I'm sure something happened that was pretty fucking offensive.
For the second time, this is the last time. He was actually in the Summer Olympics 2 years ago. Now he has returned in the Winter Olympics. And
how?
Because he wanted to be in the Olympics. I honestly think he wanted to be the flag bearer again, but he decided to learn in just a few years. I think his snowboard. I can't remember what the sport is, but he picked it up quickly, and he had never even been around snow his whole life. But they made him the flag bearer again, and you remember from 2 years ago, he was the very oiled up, attractive man, and so he did it again.
He's cross country skiing now.
That's what it is. Just the Katie Couric.
He's the best in Samoa.
What does anybody want to know?
What's she doing?
No, that wasn't Katie Couric. That's someone. They're just playing audio. They're just playing the video and talking over it.
Well, where's Katie at?
I'm finding it.
What did she try to do? Cream on him?
Yeah, I think she probably just probably mentioned that he's oiled up. And, that's something inappropriate that us women do.
Yeah,
you know
but
what
we're
I
not
mean?
allowed to grope women, but Katie Couric can do this, okay? Harvey Weinstein's a freak.
You know what? We're the problem. Women are the problem. The way we treat you guys like our own personal fuck toys.
Can I tell you something? I had Harvey Weinstein in here 3 times, and he was a complete gentleman to me.
He didn't try anything with you?
Not a single thing. And I was oiled up and shirtless.
This is with Katie talking about the Tonga boy.
Mike, I'll handle this one.
Sure you will.
Recognize this guy if you don't. Picture him just as he is without his shirt on, slathered in coconut oil, because that's how he looked when he became the viral star of the Rio opening ceremony, carrying Tonga's flag in all his shining glory. Well, despite freezing temperatures, this guy has decided to do it again. We couldn't have a parade of nations without Pita Tafua.
Oh my God, she went nuts. Oh my God, the way she just spoke about what literally was happening.
And what does she mean by talk to poo? That's disgusting.
She's out of control. You know what? Us women can't help ourselves.
I got news for you. I don't think that guy looks that good. I think he's a little beefy. You know what I mean? I think he could use a little core work.
She went nuts. She went nuts, and that was sick.
Janice, what's up?
Hey, I couldn't help but be laughing all night when Gail asked Vito yesterday, was she under the age of 80?
I remember that.
Yes.
But he said
And
his girlfriend pissed on him in bed.
The bed.
A lot of people wrote to me about what they were calling Tinkle Boy.
Like what I like.
A lot of people wrote to me about how much they liked Ian Findance in here, too.
Oh, God, he was so fun.
We should tweet out to him. And it looks like everything's okay with Colin Quinn, right?
Yeah, it looks like he's recuperating.
Does he feel, well, you know what? I mean, I've had this ankle injury, and I'm going to just say it as something that's going to scare everybody. High ankle injury.
Oh.
The worst kind. The kind that ends sports careers. And I've been able to work through it. You're goddamn right I am. Why?
God.
Heart.
And we so appreciate it.
Janice, do you?
Yes, every day, Ronnie.
Oh, thank
I
you.
think after you, Ronnie. Hey, I don't know if you pay attention to Top Chef.
Oh, no, I don't.
One of the chefs this year, and I'm not sure when it was filmed, but he's a chef from Philly and an Eagles fan.
Oh, yeah.
And in one of the competitions they had, he won tickets to the Super Bowl. And I thought, how cool.
Yeah, it's great.
he's going to be so happy.
I wish they would do Tap Chef Chicago. Today, 18 different ways to use sausages. Now, you got 15 minutes to make a deep dish pizza with sausage and meatballs stuffed in it.
I love you guys.
It's a hot dog with all the regular ingredients. Relish, tomatoes, onions, lettuce, peanut butter, artichokes.
Different.
Just not ketchup.
No ketchup in a Chicago hot dog. I want to try to get out to Chicago soon. I hope we can have dinner together one night. Janice.
That would be fabulous.
It would be fantastic. All right. Talk to you soon, buddy. Bye.
Thanks. Love you.
Janice from Chicago.
Love Janice.
Every once in a while, she goes down to St. Pete. You're all at stopping grounds.
Yep.
Tell us again about this new column of yours, and you said a virtual takedown of
if you want to see
America's most beloved.
Usually you take Chris Rock down a peg and add Bo Burnham in with that. You go read Vito reviews on the iBang, where I fucking go into that it's two different specials in one. I don't like the way it looks, but I like Chris Rock.
Getting more and more negative.
He does like Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Would you say Chris Rock is America's most beloved comic?
He's very beloved, yeah.
Is there anyone more beloved?
I don't think it, and especially in the comedy world. I mean,
now forget in the comedy world, in the world itself. Okay, let's stay in this reality. I don't want to see what Dan Soder thinks. I want to see Joe Lunchbucket. Okay, somebody like yourself, just a regular gal,
guy like me. Fucking Chris Rock's number one. I love Chris Rock.
Well, who else is beloved?
Dave Chappelle.
But by regular people, or is that more of a comedy?
I don't know.
world?
I think regular people love.
I think regular people would say Chris Rock, not scary. Dave Chappelle, scary.
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like someone like Seinfeld has more like love because it's like palatable to people than Chappelle. Whereas like people who know comedy or really like his specific style of comedy think he's the best in the world. You know what I mean?
Jim Gaffigan.
He did make us laugh again.
I would say Larry David. People love Larry David.
Stop it, Chris.
So you don't want to talk about it? Is what you're saying?
I do want to talk about it.
Oh, by that I meant somebody who does stand up once every 12 years. Who do we got coming up in just a little bit? You know?
The mesh. Oh.
Well, now what's the point of me saying it?
There isn't one.
You can say his last name, Vito.
Mr. Patel is coming here.
What is it that you can't let Vito shine? You know it's his day today.
He's already got the review thing.
Chris's little sound that he made. Namesh. All right. So I messed it up there.
Chris, I want you to stay after and work on some things for the next 3 hours after the show today. He's got another one of his doctor's appointments.
They're fun, you know? They get more fun every time.
What do you have doing? What are you doing today? You're doing
another CAT scan.
Okay. So then he goes, I got to get in an MRI. He goes, just what I wanted to fucking do today. Get inside a robot coffin. I go, that doesn't even make sense. I go, you're mad about you're mad about something. I can't even meet you halfway here.
Is it a coffin for robots or is it a robotic coffin?
Robotic coffin.
All right. Come on, man. Can you guys interact?
I want to.
Well, that would be a coffin robot then.
Coffin. That's what he is. You're a coughing robot. You want Vito to go with you?
No, I do not. I want him.
Oh, that would be good.
I'll hold your hand from outside the little machine. I'll talk to you the whole way through.
You want to know the funny thing is, I honestly think Vito is 100% serious and would do that. If Chris asked him to do it, he would do it.
Vito is the exact opposite of Chris. He's a loving, giving, empathetic friend.
Yeah.
You know, when you need.
Yeah, I don't. I'm fine doing this solo.
One day I thought I was going to pass out in here. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, fuck, don't pass out. Chris will steal your wallet.
So I'll make sure it's there.
Chris is very excited once again because Johnny Manziel is coming back this time to something I didn't even know about, some kind of winter league.
Yeah, winter league that I hadn't heard of either, but I'm still happy about it.
What is the winter league? What is this?
This is a chance for guys who are looking to be seen by the teams. Play a couple games in Austin or something.
Yeah, it's in the South, and it's actually the Spring League. The NFL Spring League is what he'll be playing in to show off that he's.
How many teams are in the Spring League?
That I think it's I don't know how many leagues.
And they said you'll be able to watch these games on Turner Online.
Yeah,
I didn't know there was such a thing. Sam in Fargo. Sam.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. It's cold, windy, 6 degrees, and just nasty. But talking about this Chris Rock thing, who said Chris Rock is wonderful?
Vito did.
Okay, well, Chris Rock is nothing but a freaking racist.
Wow.
The only time he's even funny is when he's in a movie and he has to read from a script. His stand-up is nothing but racism. He's one of the bad examples of anybody in this world.
Well, give me
one of them.
Give me something awful that he said. Something horrible.
Well, it's like anything he says about a black guy in a white neighborhood, and the cop comes up to him, and oh my gosh, he's got to worry about Rodney King, and just the not that long ago, was it Academy Awards or something, when they did a whole thing about racism, about
Voss wrote that.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
White guy.
Chris Rock is just a bad example for everything.
All right, Sam in Fargo, not a Chris Rock fan.
Yeah.
Also saying gigantic racist.
Yes.
Because bringing up the Rodney King thing.
Still not really quite sure.
Well, Rodney
racist
King
part.
was a man who attacked a bunch of police officers.
Sure.
But
what was
for being white. Who's that there that walked by?
Seems like I didn't see.
Cheryl Hines.
I love her. I was going to say, it looks like a beautiful woman. I could always see her from behind. She's married to a Kennedy now.
Really?
Yeah. Chris Vito's head just snapped back.
Doing really well for her. So I didn't realize she was married to a Kennedy.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's Robert Kennedy Jr., if I'm right about that. The guy who cleaned up the Hudson Rivers and cleaned up our hearts.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
He was last seen with Ted Danson on this season of Curb.
Yeah, that's fiction.
No.
Yeah. And there wasn't even any point to that entire storyline. I kept thinking to myself, I can't wait for the payoff.
They were mad at each other one episode, and they were just at dinner parties every week.
Yeah. And he was okay with his buddy being with his ex-wife. I don't know. That Curb. I don't know. What is it, Chris? You went and looked something up?
It is Robert Kennedy Jr.
Thank you. Do I have to force you to back me up? All I wanted you to say is you're right, Ron.
This
You're
is
right,
like the Rodney King thing all over.
This fucking Chris Stanley is the worst example of anything that you could find.
He's one of the worst examples for sure.
Racist.
I don't like when people bring up racism because I'm white and I want to keep everything the same. I like the white way things have run in this country.
Would you say white is right?
I never even thought of that, but I like it because it rhymes. John in PA. John.
Hey, guys. In terms of beloved, would Bob Newhart qualify?
Well, he's beloved by me, but I don't know if the younger people know him. I don't even know if, like, for a long time, I'll say there was like 50 years at least, where Bob Hope was pretty much America's comedian. And then there was a long time I felt like Billy Crystal had that role. And it doesn't mean like, oh, he's the best, but he's just recognized as American's comedian. I don't know if we have somebody for that now.
Right. Like, obviously, again, I would say like a Robin Williams type, but
Yes.
there isn't currently somebody.
But even Robin was probably a little edgy for what we need. Somebody who could show up and not be so edgy and be like, oh, of course he's the masters of ceremony. Somebody that is to comedy what Oprah is to weight loss.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Where you're like, she's here. But let's say what Oprah is to like mental health and feeling better.
Right.
Like if Oprah shows up, everyone's like, we're okay now. We used to have that with Bob Hope. Oh, there's a president we'll bring Bob Hope in. You know what I mean? Oh, there's a war. Bob Hope will go over there and make everybody feel better. And it's like Billy Crystal had that role for a little while and didn't hold on to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when he hosted the Oscars like 7 times,
yeah,
everybody's like, "Oh, thank God!"
Now
Billy
we know
Crystal.
we're gonna have
Yeah, Billy Crystal's hosting, so we know that part will be good.
some parody.
Yeah, until the last time he did it, where people went, "Hey, I remember that being better."
Yeah,
and he just kind of went away after that. I don't know whether he was hurt or he was finally discovered.
He was just like, "Hey, I see the tides have changed for me."
I don't think there's anyone would have rather done an unmasked with than Billy Crystal.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I remember when I was a kid, and I kind of had in the back of my mind I wanted to do something, like I ended up doing. I said, "Oh, Billy Crystal's playing this little place called the Bijou Cafe. I want my friends to go with me. And we all went. And like for the first 5 minutes, he's killing it. And I'm looking around like, right, guys? Isn't this fucking great? 15 minutes, he's killing it. And I'm like, oh man, it's got to be fucking great to do what he does. Half hour in, he's killing it. Hour. I'm like, fuck, this is a long time to be this funny. Hour 15, I'm like, it's impossible to do what this man is doing. And I actually got depressed because he had the room lit up for so long. Hey, Rob, what's up, buddy?
Hey guys, I haven't seen him around anymore, but Bill Cosby, America's frickin' sweetheart.
It's a very good point. There was a time where Bill Cosby was the guy. We'll invite Bill Cosby and everybody will feel okay. And then hashtag me fucking too. Okay? You take this gentle, blind man and you accuse him of dropping a Mickey on some chicks. Is our comedian in today?
Yes.
But not here yet. He's downstairs.
Yes, coming up.
Dave, New Jersey.
Yeah, hi, Ron.
Yeah.
I think two people could be America's comedian. One is Jerry Seinfeld, if he did more. And the other one is Jay Leno, because Jay Leno's kind of middle-of-the-road kind of guy.
Well, first of all, it should have been Jay Leno, but then the Letterman, battle was a problem. Jerry, everybody likes him, but he's not
warm.
Yeah.
He's not warm.
All right, I've got one, and I think I've got a good one.
Give it to me.
What would you say about Ellen DeGeneres?
Well, she's got, I'm going to say 80 to 90% of what we're looking for.
Yes. There is something missing because, she didn't stick with stand-up. And so therefore, but there is something about it where you're like, well, everyone likes Ellen, right? I mean, pretty sure.
I don't know if religious types like her. She's a little more controversial.
Yeah.
Than is like Bob Hope. I'm sure he had some dark things. No one knew him.
Right.
Billy Crystal, same thing. Ellen is a homosexual. Okay? And if they ever let gays marry, this country will fall apart. Trust me on this. Trust me. If gays marry, this whole country will look 100% different. It's in the Bible. So that's the thing there. And also, she seems to be a 4:00 in the afternoon funny person.
Okay, I see what you mean. But you don't feel like she's got late night funny appeal. That there's more feel good.
I don't.
Daytime.
I'm going to tell you Ellen's biggest problem. I just figured it out now. She's not needy enough.
Interesting.
Right?
Okay.
Bob Hope would get on a fucking plane, fly through bullets to have a couple people clap for him. Okay. Ellen takes the summers off.
Right. This is true. But when I saw her just recently with the Nick Foles interview, I haven't watched something of Ellen's in a little while, and she was just being funny and charming, and I was like, oh, I forgot, she really was so fun to listen to. And people who, obviously she has a hugely successful show, but for people who that's not your time frame that you're able to watch entertainment, it does kind of drop out for us.
Yeah, Ellen was hilarious in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's been real funny
I loved
for
her
a long time.
sitcom, too.
Ellen?
Mm-hmm.
Jay, Mississippi.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think Chris Rock is not right. But it's got to be Kevin Hart right now. He's got to be the most popular in America. He's got his own serious radio channel for a couple of days.
Kevin Hart, the only thing saying that Kevin Hart is a slam dunk is that he almost hasn't been doing it long enough. That's his only drawback. You know what I mean?
Right, because you kind of do need to oh, thank God this person's here again.
You want a little snow on the roof.
Yeah.
You want a guy who's been around a while. And, well, Vito, I'm going to ask you. You're a Kevin Hart fan, right?
Love Kevin.
You're a critic. You shouldn't be a fan of anybody. That's something for you to remember, okay? The bands are not your friends, all right?
Okay.
They'll try to buy you and make you feel cool. I've seen you, dude. You're not cool.
I can't be bought.
Who's the bigger star, The Rock or Kevin Hart?
I think The Rock.
Last night, I told you I couldn't sleep. And your favorite movie from last year, which was Baywatch, starring The Rock.
You loved it.
I'm like, maybe I can fall asleep if I click on Baywatch. What they did to Gerard Carmichael in that movie shocked me in a way I've never been shocked before.
What did they do?
I'm not going to say, but it was pretty horrific. Agreed?
I don't remember Gerard even in the movie. Hannibal?
Oh, God, I'm such a fucking racist.
It's like you just brought
I
up
wish
the
you
Rodney
didn't even
King
correct
thing.
me.
I'm sorry.
Hannibal Buress. I am a fucking racist. I will give any black person a prize. The first black person who plays it. I wish that you could see my face in the radio. Chartreuse. I am just red-faced. I'll just say this. I was raised in a racist family. And
you did pretty good, considering.
I've been trying as hard as I can to be woke. You know what I mean? I can't tell you what a sleepy place I was raised. My parents would kill me right now for saying that. They want zero complaints about me growing up. Zero. You had everything everyone else did. Don't act like you didn't. All right. How do you know it's time to switch to Dish? It gets hands-free TV with Amazon Alexa. If you've ever settled into your couch and then realized the remote was all the way across the room, it might be time to switch to Dish. That's because Dish is TV's leader in voice technology.
Now with Dish, you can use Amazon Alexa to control your Hopper DVR using only your voice. With Dish and Amazon Alexa, you can do things like find your favorite show, search for family movies, or find your team's game in an instant.
Tell Alexa to pause, resume, and rewind live TV and recordings without having to touch the remote. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the new way to watch TV hands-free with Dish and Amazon Alexa. Requires internet-connected Hopper, Joey, or Wally, and any Alexa-enabled Amazon device. For full details, call 1-844-CALL-DISH. Dish tuned into you.
Welcome back to Bennington. Nimesh Patel's in studio.
Hello.
Buddy.
Thank you guys for having me.
Nimesh is performing at the DC Improv Lounge February 23rd and 24th. Go to dcimprov.com for tickets and findingnimesh.com for all of Nimesh's dates.
That's me.
Now you now that you have this day job, you're not doing as much stand-up, are you?
It's harder, definitely, while we're working.
Yeah.
Just the schedule gets kind of crazy towards the end of the week, and so those are like when I'll try to get up as much as I can if I wasn't doing a day job. But now, like on Mondays, maybe I can squeeze in a set or two. But other than that, no.
Do you consider yourself more of a writer now? Or are you saying to yourself, this is the future for me, TV writing?
I love writing in general, and for the show, it's been great. But I came into comedy doing stand up, and I'm always gonna just
stay that
consider
way.
myself a stand up.
Yeah. Well, you got the two head writers now.
Yeah.
Stand-up background, right? Both
Justin Che and Tucker and Kent are still head writers, but Tucker, I just found this out, also came from a stand-up from background. I didn't know him as a stand-up.
You'd be surprised, like, a lot of times you'd be like, hey, whatever happened to that stand-up from the 80s? And then you go to look him up and you go, oh, he's produced 3 hit television shows, and he's richer than everyone that you went to school with put together. But you're like, that dude disappeared, huh? Because you just think of him as a stand-up, but once you get, if you're producing a sitcom, it's like owning a baseball team or something.
Just sit on residuals
forever.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, when you see a story like the one that happened yesterday in Florida, is that something that you go like, oh, this has got to make the show, or there's certain things that you know?
Well, what makes the show comes from Che and Jost and probably the powers above.
Yeah.
as a writer, we're just given stuff to write on. This is something I feel like change us would like when we were on when Vegas happened, when the Vegas shooting happened, and we made comments about that. I don't remember specifically what they were, but they were addressing the sort of insanity behind how easy it is to get guns.
Right.
And the most annoying thing is that how repetitive all of this is, where it's just like, yeah, we have to address mental health. Sure.
It's constant.
No one should be getting an AR-15 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I just, they said that he was part of a white nationalist group.
Yeah, I just saw that on the Associated Press report.
Yeah. And obviously I'm a big white nationalist for a long, long time. And I hope it doesn't reflect badly.
What did I walk into?
But it is a weird thing of like, there's certain groups that if people belong to it, they're scared pistols. People are scared pistols.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And others, you're like, yeah, they're the white nationalists. They're nuts. Don't believe me. There's not many of them. You know?
The whole thing of like just trying to tag them and identify them, it seems so dismissive.
Yeah.
Like whether it be white nationalists with which to join, I think you have to have some level of mental instability.
Right, sure.
Right? No, it's like white power.
Yeah.
I'm completely saying.
Yeah, you're not even, white people aren't even comfortable around people who yell out white power. It's not going to move you ahead the way the Klan did back in, in the 1800s if you lived down south.
Right.
You're like, a minute, but yeah, because I'm trying to sell plumbing supplies,
I just need to get away from Brenda on Thursday nights. And then moreover, it's like so dismissive to just say, oh, he's mentally ill.
Right.
It's like mental illness affects like, I don't know, 5% of people, and one shooter is like meant, so you sort of stigmatize everyone.
I don't think
it's so crazy to me.
I don't think I have a friend that isn't some kind of mental ill.
Yeah.
My friends are always really depressed, really anxious, or they're just so above it, like, it's all happening, dude. And I'm like, easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's not spend all the money. Let's see what happens.
But yeah, no matter what it is, it's definitely not one thing. It just can't be one thing.
Right.
It's just,
I think, I'm sure we've talked about it ad nauseum, or you talked about it before, but it's just like, and I don't want to keep belaboring the point, but I don't know at what point guns become like the thing to end. Right. Like, or let's assume all mental health is addressed.
Yeah.
Then, and someone still gets shot. Like, what are you going to do then? Like, what are you going to blame then? And it's just like, this is the easiest takeaway. Is like, just take away the guns.
Yeah.
For a second.
Well, even, let's look at New York City.
Nimesh Patel is coming for your gun.
Yeah, yes. Not just the gun. It's Nimesh.
That sounds comforting.
Yeah. Coming for the guns. Open up. How many you got in here? Well, that's a lot. But look at New York City. I mean, people aren't shooting each other in New York City.
Yeah.
And this used to be a place where people killed each other all the time.
Yeah.
How could this be one of the safer places? This is embarrassing that like crazy New York City is safer than suburbs.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah, but we all have knives, and I think everyone knows that we walk around with knives all the time.
Well, a lot of our knives are just for slashing, not even digging deep, though. You know what I mean? They're a slicing type of knife.
We are casual violence people.
We'll try to take an ear off.
Just the occasional slash on the subway.
Yeah.
Gets the mentally ill person's rocks off.
Yeah, but the fact that even makes the news means that the city is doing a lot better than it used to.
Oh, yeah.
Because you wouldn't have had time to talk about slashing in the old days, you know?
But I think, if you go to somewhere in the suburbs and you watch their local news or whatever, you're gonna be shocked how much more depressing, scary their news
The suburbs have gotten to be rough.
Local news, I could see why. I mean, local news is so boring because towns are so boring. I don't want to get into like what causes mental illness, but I think a lot of just nonsense that happens in suburbs is just boredom. Like everyone just does drugs because there's nothing else to do.
There's the opiate problem in New York is not as big as it is outside of New York and in the country.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I'm surprised so many people do meth in the desert. I'm always shocked. Like, that's the last place that I want to be cranked up. It's already hot. There's nothing to do, and I'm going to be shaking like this. What is that, a lizard? What did I just hear? I'm always shocked about that.
You're going to find your teeth in the stand.
Nimesh Patel's in studio. Nimesh is performing at the DC Improv Lounge February 23rd and 24th. Go to dcimprov.com for tickets.
I'm so excited to go back to DC.
Sure, it's great. Great town.
The day before, I actually got invited to speak or be part of a panel at Johns Hopkins, like on the Foreign Affairs Symposium.
Really?
And it's like a completely free event in Baltimore, but it's like 10 years ago, I got rejected from Johns Hopkins. Here I am back speaking as, I don't know, to what end. But.
Yeah, you don't even know what it is. You're like, yes.
Yes,
I will definitely
I'll be there. I'm the first, I think, Indian writer on SNL, and like someone got wind of that. And
I had no idea that.
I think so. But yeah.
By the way, I believe that the correct term now is South Asian.
South Asian, sorry.
You want to be inclusive.
I want to be very specific. I don't want any Bengalis or Pakistanis getting any idea.
Did they expect you to bring a different angle or just comedy is comedy?
No, I think comedy's comedy. I think I don't think I know that the Indian thing had nothing to do with it. It's just like a cool thing to pride myself on.
Well, you've got to feel almost crazy going into that every day because it's so far in the back of your mind what that building represents and what that show represents.
Oh yeah,
that you got to feel like you're walking into Yankee Stadium.
I don't think I'll ever get over how insane it is that I get to be there, kind of thing.
Right.
And like I'll still every now and then check the text that I got saying, "Oh, congrats, you work here now," kind of thing. Like every now I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, I got that was only 6 months ago that I got that, or 3 months or whatever it was."
Yeah, and now you feel like you could find yourself getting into the routine of it.
Yeah,
but you still want to pinch yourself every once in a while. Yeah. Like, this is real.
My office is at the end of. Have you been to at the end of the long hallway where it's all the cast since the beginning of SNL? I'm just like every day you walk past, I'm like, what hallowed ground this is.
It really is. And I don't know when it even moved over, maybe somewhere around 2000 where we started to go, okay, this is here. Yeah. And it's, you know what I mean? And the fact that so few people, but I've talked to so many people who either loved it or hated it, but almost 100% of them wish they would have handled it differently, wish that they would have enjoyed it more, wish they would have put less pressure on themselves. It's always fascinating to me.
I think like in that regard, I'm lucky in that like I've had friends that worked there before and people I've talked to just being like, look, it's a very intense place. Just stay grounded and, work hard, keep your head down. That's what got you there kind of.
Yeah.
But make sure you enjoy it. Take it in because it is a very rare thing you get to be a part of, which you sort of lose sight of when you're there for 4 weeks on a row and like you see everybody all the time. Oh, this is just a normal thing. And then you run into someone on the street and you end up talking to them like, oh, I write for SNL. Like, you write for SNL.
I know. It's nuts. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
And, again, I could sit around and tell millions of stories about the original writing team for SNL because that's been told so many times. You get in the Michael O'Donoghue stuff, and it's phenomenal, the people that have had that job. It's like being a senator or something. Not a lot of people have had the job.
Right, yeah. It's a cool thing.
Yeah.
I'm very appreciative. I don't know how to... I almost have so many words that I don't have any words that sort of talk about how cool it is that I get to be there.
But, it was weird. I was reading this thing in the Interrobang last week with the guy who does the building all the sets, right? And I think he's done it since 1975. He's an older guy or whatever. And he kept talking about, we're really happy with the Wizard of Oz set. The Wizard of Oz set. And I'm like, I'm going to make sure I see the Wizard. I didn't see the Wizard of Oz set on there. That's what's crazy about that show is that you don't know if it's going to get on.
Oh, there's stuff in dress that, like, I'm no SNL historian by any stretch of the imagination, but just in my short tenure there, I've seen stuff in dress that doesn't make it to air. And I'm just like, what? And like all the effort that goes into making this stuff.
Unbelievable.
It's like that. I think one of the biggest takeaways I got from just even talking to people there is, and then like reading criticisms of the show, I was like, it's a 90-minute show that comes together in a week.
Right.
And the crazy amount of effort that goes, like this artwork and the details and the set building, that's all done in a week. And it's not even a week, like 4 days. And it's just insane the amount of effort people
just the job that they do putting that thing together during the commercials.
Oh, yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's incredibly impressive. And I had that experience too. I saw a dress rehearsal, then watched the live show after, and was shocked. Great sketches that I watched that I thought were hilarious got cut for time. And then one of which the set was incredibly elaborate. And I was just thinking, every single person who had to put so much into making that set, putting that set together, learning those lines, writing, and then they're just like, yeah, that doesn't work. Let's just not do it. And I'm like, what? That was crazy.
It's a madhouse.
Even one of the things, because it doesn't even seem like, you would think, like, what if you just said, okay, by Thursday, these are the sets, these are the costumes, and we'll just try to make it better. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you have to do. But even with the guy that I was reading, what's the budget? Oh, we don't have a budget for sets. We could never say, here's the budget for sets. The budget is whatever it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what it is. You know what else is funny? There's nowhere to even store that stuff.
No.
There's nothing.
It's all just crammed in the hallway.
And then just everywhere on the studio floor, and then they make magic out of it. It's insanity.
Are there people already that you prefer writing for, or it just doesn't work that way?
Well, I mean, I write on Update, so it's a bit different in that, like, I write for Che and Jost, and then should Update, the feature characters come in, then like we'll punch up and write stuff for them. But as of now, it's just for Che, like it's just jokes for those guys. So
I always thought that they even had their own separate writers, because a lot of their things feel different to me.
Oh, I mean, I think like between it's me, Pete Schultz, Josh Patton, Megan Callahan, Katie Rich, Scott Weinstein, and Dennis McNicholas were like the Update squad. And then shout out to all the writers, assistants, and people that help us put the show together on Saturday night. But I think the 4 of us or 5 of us who like are staring at a computer all day and just putting jokes together, I think we have a feel of what works with Che and works with Jost, and then it's just like whatever they feel works for them, they'll take, and that kind of stuff.
Now, when those two guys teamed up, most reviewers thought it was a bad idea. And that, to me, has become the strongest part of SNL over the last couple of years.
It really
has. It's unbelievably strong.
And that was a thing like a couple seasons ago. You know, not that it was ever not good. It was just like, you know, it takes that moment to get that rhythm and that chemistry with with each other. But
to me, that's all it was. Yeah.
It was just like a couple seasons ago where something really clicked with them. And I was like, oh, like this is going to take over as being kind of the centerpiece of the show again.
Well, I always thought of Che as like being like the best young comedian out there. And I'm like, I wonder if he should even be doing SNL. You know what I mean? Like, I think that he could make it to Dave Chappelle status, being Che.
Yeah.
And now he somehow seems like he's balanced both of those things.
I can't speak for him, obviously, but I think for when they started, it was, you know, a very sort of throw you into the fire and figure, and that's just the nature of, I think, any high intensity job in general. It's like, figure it the fuck out, and then sorry if I'm not allowed to curse.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
But both those guys were like, hey, be Seth Meyers. You know what I mean? Like, it always starts like you're the guy before you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You got to
like,
fill in those shoes until you're ready to walk out of them, kind of thing. And I think in the last 2 seasons, and especially this season, they really hit a good stride.
I agree, 100%.
Chemistry is beautiful.
Also, I think when they started to do stuff in the summer, I think that was a brilliant idea to let them do like a couple specials.
Oh yeah,
in the summer.
Past summer, yeah.
Like there's just something that just worked about that. Mainly because I guess so many people have copied that thing that we're very used to. That is even a longer segment, like a half-hour segment.
Yeah, I think the summer shows really sort of. I wasn't involved with them, but I think that it really allowed them, because it was more or less 3 or 2 like Update. Just joke kind of thing, and then a feature, and then back to joke, and then another feature kind of thing. I think it really helped them get into a groove of who they are and like how they want to bounce stuff off each other.
I'm always amazed too on Saturday Night Live of like a lot of times it's the least funny host who has the best week. Like somebody who doesn't have a comic background or you think of as, straight dramatic, you're like, oh, what's this? And then you're like, oh, this is perfect. Yeah. I don't know. I never know who's going to be a great host and who won't.
Do you think maybe writers step up for that and go, okay, let's make sure this material is really, really strong and they have something to work with? Maybe it's because you get more of, featuring the actual cast.
Yeah. I think Lauren just knows how to pick the magic.
Is that right?
I think so. I think with certain comedic hosts, I think it's like, okay, these guys, like when Will Ferrell came, I was like, oh, it's Will Ferrell.
It's Will Ferrell.
Like,
he's got it.
He's a captain, but he's also like someone I got to get this stuff out for him.
Yeah.
Other people, I think it's like, you can see they have the chops. And I think like comedy actors make great dramatic actors. And I think dramatic actors can be very good as funny people because you're so used to seeing them as type. And when they're anti-type, it goes like, oh, this is like Sam Rockwell.
Yes.
Perfect example, who is like a very amazing actor in general, but then you put him in a comedic situation, like, oh, he's great because he has the sensibilities to be funny.
Yeah.
But I think it just goes back. Lauren knows how to pick. I guess he sees the magic.
It is the craziest career we've ever had, I think, is Lorne Michaels' career. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's such a strange, weird thing that became his life's work. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's something that he did as a young man. And if you go back to that opening cast of the people that were available, and again, the original writers for that thing, unbelievable. And then he has to kind of compete against that for the rest of his career. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He's Lorne Michaels.
Yeah, he's Lorne Michaels.
I mean, it's like it's almost like a one syllable name kind
of,
yeah. Or one name guy kind of thing.
Nimesh Patel's in studio. Nimesh is performing at the DC Improv Lounge February 23rd and 24th. DCimprov.com for tickets. And he'll be speaking at John Hopkins in Baltimore February 22nd.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know why or what he's doing.
Actually, it's a foreign affairs symposium. I'm being joined by two like very smart, much smarter than I am, authors and like a professor from some school. Like a fancy school, who will be talking politics and comedy. My two favorite things.
Right. Well, all comedy seems like it's politics now, even if it isn't.
It's so nuts. It's so like I love the prevalence of comedy now, but I also sort of hate it, where it's just like even commercials are funny.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, dude, just sell me toilet paper.
Yeah.
Just tell me. Oh yeah. It's like at this point, like I don't need a joke to sell me yogurt. I gotta eat yogurt.
But it is also true that we expect even political people to be funny.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing of they'll say, "Hey, start with a joke," and then you got them. You're like, do you know how hard it is for a comedian to do an opening joke, to go out and get the whole room to laugh,
right?
Let alone for somebody who's going to be pushing a tax plan.
Yeah, do something easy like tell a joke.
Yeah,
and
3 Democrats walk into a bar.
I'm always amazed
the door.
when you go to a club and a comedian isn't in a hurry to get a first big laugh. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like a comedian will go up there. Oh, is that it? Anyone had to do? You know what I mean? And they're taking their time, and I'm like, get it. Get the first big one. Make everybody feel okay now.
Yeah, that might be the sort of old school mentality of like you got to get a laugh immediately. And I'm of that mind. I may take a second longer than some, but I'm also like, all right, I need to establish that I'm funny before I can even talk to these people.
Yeah,
they're at a comedy club, not at Nimesh Patel's house.
Right. And there's so many that are just like, there we are.
I was out the other day.
Yeah. So, like, please let us know that it's okay. Please.
Make us safe. Make us safe here.
But, the other thing, too, is like we were talking about this today, is how often specials are out now. There's like 1 or 2. And sometimes, like, Netflix will just put out a special. No one even knows it's coming until you turn on the thing. There's no ads for it. And these are big name people.
Just dropped.
Yeah, it just dropped.
That's the the trust in Netflix brand. It's just like, yeah, you'll get it. Don't worry.
Yeah, it'll happen for you. You'll get around to it.
It'll show up in your algorithm.
Yeah.
It's all algorithms now. It's nothing else but just algorithms. They figured people out.
Isn't it scary that they think they know what you like?
It's really weird.
And a lot of times they base it on a weird thing that I just watched once. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just want to say I'm not a slasher guy. Stop. You know what I mean? I watched one.
Yeah, or like if you just go on YouTube because you have a specific thing that you're looking for, and they're like, "You must love videos about that." And you're like, "No, it's just
Lolita once."
That's just one thing.
That is funny. Yes, I watched it because it was Lolita, not because that's the subject
Stop
and interest.
showing me little girls.
I'm a Kubrick fan. That's it. And politically, have you ever seen a time that's as charged as we are right now?
I'm so mad at who's in charge.
Yeah.
That like I feel like a huge portion of the population is at that anger phase where we're just like, this guy sucks so much, and now when you're angry, you just like I want to just go tell every Trump voter like you're an idiot. I want to tell like every gun owner what the is wrong with you, like. Yeah. But I think we're at that phase. But the next phase will be like, all right, everyone, calm down. We got to like make some rational decisions here. Short answer is no. But to your question, but I haven't been around long enough or cognizant of politics long enough to know if any other time has existed like this, where I legit wake up and like. I'm not afraid, but I'm like, yo, what is going to happen today?
I know.
I'm so thankful we're not on right now.
Yeah.
Because like in the past 2-3 weeks, it's just been like even yesterday was crazy. But before that, Trump was doing some stuff where it's just like the food stamp thing.
Yeah.
It's like, really, you're going to end food stamps and ship people boxes? Like, that's your plan, dude? That's your plan. Like, and that was Tuesday.
Right. You can't keep. I always got, what can we learn from this? And I'm thinking, his energy at age 70, that's something to admire. The fact that you can get up every day.
It's just hate will make you a strong person.
Well, it's a
Who knew hatred of minorities and women will drive you to, he's going to live to 90.
Well, it's a very old school New York thing that if you get up and you have a battle a day, you've had a good day. You know what I mean? So Joan Rivers always used to have something going. Howard Stern would always be on the attack. And if you like look at those people and then you look at Trump, you're like, oh, he's kind of doing that gimmick. You know what I mean?
I never knew that.
Yeah. Well, Howard would always have a battle with some DJ in some town, and that would give everybody a chance to line up for that.
Yeah.
Joan always had something going. And I think of it as very, very old school New York. And I think if we just understood that about him, you know what I mean?
Right.
He actually said to somebody, he goes, think of the presidency as like a detective show where I get somebody every episode, and every day is going to be a new episode.
Yeah.
So he kind of thinks in that way of, hey, they want to see Hulk Hogan wrestle. You know what I mean? They want to see me get out and win. It's going to look like I'm going to lose, and then I'm going to kick out and win, and everybody will be happy.
It's just unfortunate his battles are like poor people food stamps.
Well, you try to pick a battle that you can beat up on people. You don't want to go out and fight. You know what I mean? He's not going to fight the gun lobby or big pharma. Well, why wouldn't he just fight something that's already exhausted and depleted?
And that already makes his base go like, you know what I mean? The people who voted for him dig deeper. The people who don't get farther from him. And that's just kind of, it seems like, I'm not sure if, I'd be curious to hear about people who were once like, hey, this guy seems pretty clever, and then go, oh no, now we're in it. I don't feel that way.
Oh, like a regret march kind of thing.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that number is very big. I don't know if that's a large percentage. I feel like
here's the one surprising thing though, is like Wall Street started betting against them in the last couple of weeks. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they're like, no.
Oh, you mean because of the market?
Yeah, because of the market. And they were like, those tax cuts are going to cause inflation. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know and how they came up with that. But I'm like, oh, I thought that was going to go on for a while, that they would keep backing them. It is crazy days, though. We're wrapping up?
Yes, we are.
I feel like we just got started here.
Yeah.
Nimesh Patel's been
just keep talking.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We don't need to do it on the air.
Nimesh is performing at the DC Improv Lounge February 23rd and 24th, DCimprov.com. And it'll be at John Hopkins for the Foreign Affairs Symposium February 22nd in Baltimore.
I might go to that. I'm really excited about
Please
that
come.
one. Yeah. Hey, if you do nothing else, just keep a journal about your time over there because no one knows.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? No one knows what's the most important times. And you want to look back on some of that.
You're right.
Yeah, because that's history. It's literally, there is nothing ever written about that show that I don't read.
Yeah.
I just like, oh, this book is great. All right, guys. That's
thank you very
always
much.
great to see you, man. Really,
Thank you very much. Thank
Really
you for having me.
excited
Yeah, thank you very
that
much.
this is happening for you too, man.
Thank you very
Very,
much.
very cool. Anything else we need to plug?
The weekend update on Mass with Michael Che and Colin Jost. That's happening Monday, March 12th, 3 p.m. here at the Sirius XM
Oh yeah, they're going to
studios.
come over, and so if you want to stop by for that, here's what I'll do: I'll have Wally the cue card guy just write it on all your stuff.
I love Wally.
Yeah, he's the best.
He's the best guy.
All right, we'll see you all again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!